Not that this is a bad view, but it just reminds me how spoiled I am to be sitting over there.
Right close.
And it's part of my basketball background. I'm used to sitting courtside.
Right on the action.
I want to be able to hear the coaches yipping at each other.
Number 16, Cecilia Newmanati. Number 25, Lauren Barrett.
Right. But I like being able to hear that with my own ears.
Number 32, Gabriella Poole.
Especially last year. At work this year, we picked up the anthem. But I remember hearing the Kentucky coach and how that dude was coaching his butt off and then get beat by 25. I walked up to the game and said, "Sir," I said, "I heard everything you were saying." He goes, "You coached like this was the state championship game." So then I know how much the other team was better than you. For this? Yeah, we're gonna make it.
Number 13, Jenna Chatterton. Number 21, Carson Cherry.
Yes. Well, I can tell you this: we will end the broadcast at 4 o'clock, so he's going to be in good shape.
Number 6, Julia Leonard. Number 3, Molly.
I do.
Number 20.
Since I can see my destination, I like my chances of getting there.
Number 28.
Well, the other reason. I think I'm going to test out the new pitch. I may go take a nap on the Jaguar head for about 45 minutes. Dennis Glover, I want you to fist bump every Indy 11 player as they walk by you. You're the last person to give them some dap before they take to the field. That may be one of the single greatest camera positions in ISC Sports Network history right there.
I know. What are we doing up here?
I don't want to get a sunburn. That's what we're doing up here. Right. No, the top of my head doesn't need that, sir. I need some shade, even on a cooler day. So how was Jack Johnson on Sunday, by the way?
Jack Johnson was good. Went with Millie and Dora, Ella, Molly. Yeah, he was really good. Look at this camera with the dog. Those are my little girls.
Are they really?
Yeah. Let's get them dancing. They were supposed to.
Copy that.
They were supposed to be ball girls, and then they got booted in favor of Girl Scouts. So we'll see how that goes.
Now they're just chilling.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Perfect timing.
We honor this nation with the singing of our national anthem, performed by Shane Howard.
Welcome to an historic day for women's soccer here in the state of Indiana. A day where the Indy 11 plan to break a women's soccer attendance record that has stood since the U.S. women's national team played France here in 1996. It is the regular season finale as the Indy 11 women take on Detroit City FC in W League action on ISC 11 Sports and Comcast 81. Alongside Margaret McLaughlin, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, we have gone outdoors. years after the first 5 home matches at the Grand Park Indoor Event Center, we are at the mic on the campus of IUPUI because it's doubleheader day. The women play at 2, the men play at 7. Margaret, what does this mean for this team to have this stage to cap off the regular season?
This is a great venue. It's exciting. There's a ton going on, and the new turf is going to be great to get them out there, and just another experience that they get to have today.
Now, frankly, the storyline remains unchanged for the Indy 11 women. We knew this the last time we got together 6 days ago, that a playoff berth was guaranteed. The Indy 11 have wrapped up a division championship here in the Great Lakes Division. 9 wins, 2 draws, no losses. One of just 3 teams to go to the final weekend of the regular season without having had a loss on the campaign. What is Paul Dolinsky focusing on, knowing they are playing again 4 days from now?
It's just preparation for that game coming up. You know, how can we stay sharp right here? How can we work on a couple of little things that need to be cleaned up and make sure nobody gets hurt here today?
Good news for the Indy 11, too, is that somebody that shares a last name with Margaret is also back in the lineup. That's great news for the Indy 11. We'll tell you more about that with starting lineups and keys to this match when we come back from this short timeout. Kickoff just moments away of the regular season finale. Indy 11, Detroit City, as you're watching on ISC, Comcast 81, and 11 Sports.
Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. That means you get more miles per gallon with Honda. Save at the pump with up to 40 mpgs for Honda cars and SUVs. Search your local Honda dealer today.
So many people were out of work from COVID, not being able to pay their utility bills, not being able to pay their rent, and that's why our job is so important.
And what we've committed to is working with our partners around food pantries, around making sure that people get connected to what they need.
Our job is more than just giving people resources, it's be that hand to help them when they're feeling down.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/simply delivered. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Place your soccer bets at Bet Rivers Sportsbook, your new home for soccer bet. The most soccer betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on major soccer matches worldwide. We have tons of bets available during game, from money lines, goal spreads, player goals, half bets, and many more. Bet Rivers is proud to be the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11, Indiana's team. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your bets at betrivers.com.
In 7 years, you can meet, get married, have kids, get a dog, and still be covered in your Honda certified vehicle. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus factory-trained technicians and Honda genuine parts. Search a local Honda dealer today.
The sun has made its way through the clouds, and the players have made their way to the field here at Carroll Stadium. The first ever appearance for the Indy 11 women's side here at the mic, part of a doubleheader against Detroit City FC on this Saturday. Today's game on the ISC Sports Network, Comcast 81, and 11 Sports is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11, and by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care, simply delivered. As more fans file into the mic, let's bring you our starting lineups for today's game, presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. And Margaret, for this Indy 11 team, again, your daughter Molly is back in the starting 11. I'm not sure exactly how far she'll go into this match, but having that connective piece in the midfield is awfully big for Paul Dolinsky's team.
Yeah, she brings a little bit of experience and a presence in there, being able to connect pieces, like you said, from the back line up to the front line. She sees good angles and good holes and is able to play her front players in dangerous spots.
Of note, Grace Barr gets a rest today. She'll miss a match for the first time this year. But up top, Katie Soderstrom and Maddie Williams, they have combined for 19 goals on the season, both in the top 5 entering the week in terms of the USLW League. On the flip side, for Detroit City FC, who played Indy to a 0-0 draw through 45 8 days ago, Indy then scored 3 goals in the second half of that matchup. They know this is their final match of the season for Detroit City, and so they are missing some pieces in terms of today's game. But in terms of players to watch for this Detroit City team, look for Kennedy White, Ella Poole, as well as Kayla Adderson up top. They are the attacking forwards for DCFC, but again, they do have a handful of pieces that are playing out of place today and just 16 players in uniform.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough task for them, especially coming in here to this environment with a strong Indy 11 team that's looking to get sharp for next week in the playoffs.
And with that, that will sound an awful lot like a key that we'll have for today's match, which is brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. What is Paul Dolinsky's side focusing on in addition to picking up 3 more points today?
They're just fine-tuning a little bit of stuff heading into the playoffs next week. They did some work this week in training with playing through the midfield and actually, using the feet of those midfielders to allow things to unlock further up the field. So I think you'll see an emphasis on that today.
And again, we talked about kind of that connecting piece, knowing that there have been some missing pieces. We don't expect Christina Lynch back at this point for the Indy 11. Molly has not played the last 2 or 3 weeks. Focusing on the midfield will be a big part of what this team is looking to accomplish this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think you've got Addie Chester may find herself in there a little bit today. Ella's been a mainstay and has done a really good job, but how those guys combine together, can you get, it looks like Chatterton will play up top there. Can you get Nakia Smith coming out of the back as well? Gives us a little bit more, kind of some options in the attack.
And getting the win is nice. Staying healthy is the most important thing for this side, knowing they are playing again on Wednesday night in the league quarterfinals. Day of history here at Carroll Stadium. The Indy 11 women taking to the turf for the first time after playing 5 matches at the Grand Park Indoor Events Center. By the way, the playoff pairings and locations will be announced on Monday. If the Indy 11 are playing at home on Wednesday, it would be at Grand Park. If they are playing at home the following Sunday, if they're to reach the semifinals, that game would be here. There'll be more information in the next few days. Indy11.com. Click on the W League tab. It always has more. Addie Chester.
Yeah, right off the bat, Indy 11's been on the attack, putting them down, pressing them, putting them into their own box.
McLaughlin sends it in. Julia Leonard came in as a sub last week in the Sunday match in the 3-1 victory against Kalamazoo FC. Knocked down in the midfield by Kennedy White of Detroit City FC. Chatterton, again listed as a defender, draws the foul. We kind of liken her to Ioze from the men's side. Position doesn't really matter for her. It's, hey, go use that speed, go use that soccer brain, make something happen. Not surprising she's going to look up top today.
She just picked that ball up and started dribbling with it, right? And that forces the defender to foul, and this is a pretty dangerous spot. Maddie Williams on the ball. This is right within her range.
Maddie a brace last week. First 2 goals for the Indy 11. Robin McCarthy standing over the ball with her as well. 4-player wall coming up here for DCFC at the edge of the 18. Hear the sounds of the Brickyard Battalion. Off to our left. It'll be Williams. Williams line drive ricochets off a Detroit City player.
Do not want to be the wall in that team right now.
It's McCarthy who will track it down. We talked about Robin and her sister Rachel. I think unfortunately Rachel's time with the Indy 11 probably has come to an end as she is heading back to BYU. Cougars the national runners-up a season ago. It has been wonderful to watch those 2 sisters play together over the course of this season. And Robin's college days are done. She completed her eligibility at Fresno State in the fall, so she is here through the end of the summer, which as it pertains to soccer, we hope is 2 weekends from now in the W League Championship.
Let's keep it going as long as possible.
So Williams kind of playing alone up top, trying to force the action. Great read by Addie Chester. Flick forward from Williams. Chester with the shot, and it's stopped by Dayton Waymer.
Well, what a ball by Maddie Williams, right? That cheeky little play, that's a lot of experience right there.
Chester's big moment for the Indy 11 this season came in the 1-0 victory at Kalamazoo on June 21st. It was her strike from 25 yards out that was the only goal of that match, and that was another road win for the Indy 11. McLaughlin dispossessed at midfield. Here's an opportunity. This is Kennedy White, and McLaughlin takes it right back.
A little too long on the ball. I'm trying to make a decision where to go. I mean, that's taken a couple weeks off, but good effort to get it back.
Here's Soderstrom. And she took last Sunday's match off. Long distance pass to Williams. I like her odds. Williams can't slide it through. Well done by Waymer.
That's a good read by the goalkeeper.
You'll see some slips on this new turf. This is the second match played on it. The men debuted it last Saturday in a 1-0 loss to Miami FC. Waymer makes another play. That one much easier. No traffic in front of her. You see the replay here, and normally when Maddie Williams has nothing but air and opportunity in front of her, normally the ball finds its way to the back of the net.
That was just well read by the goalkeeper. Maddie did what she needed to do, but keeper came out and saved it.
Gabby Tremonti, one of the center backs today for Detroit City FC. And a giveaway in front of the Indy 11 bench. A throw-in coming here for Indy in minute number 5.
That's good defensive organization by Indy 11, forcing Detroit to give that ball away.
Second time that Indy has kind of pickpocketed a player in midfield. Here's Chester. Nice sliding tackle. Got to the ball first. Contact after, but that was the right decision not to blow a whistle in that scenario. Here's Nakia Smith. A chance to see Nakia for the first time, at least on our television cameras, last Sunday. Very impressed by the young lady that spent time playing in Spain as well as Israel. Tries to send this in, and that will be a throw-in next to the corner flag as it ricochets off a Detroit City player. But clearly this match has been tilted in favor of the Indy 11 in the early going. Of course, this match brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Yeah, the 11 have done a good job of keeping possession, keep staying on the front foot, keeping Detroit pinned into their defensive end.
For those of you watching in the Indianapolis area, whether it be online or on our cable partner of Comcast 81, it's a beautiful day. Seriously, you have time to make it down to Carroll Stadium. Get here by halftime, because one ticket gets you in what will be the second half of the women's match, the men's match to follow at 7. Williams left foot. And I think technically that's 4 saves for Waymer in the opening 7 minutes of this match.
She's going to have her work cut out for her this afternoon. It's been almost easy for Maddie to continue to find some holes right in there. So if 11 can keep the ball on the other end of the field, we'll continue to get chances here.
For those that are watching outside of the Indianapolis area, maybe you're a Detroit City fan that hasn't seen this Indy 11 team play this year. Maddie Williams played professionally in both Holland as well as Spain. Outstanding player at Purdue 5 years ago. Here's Soderstrom weaving her way through traffic. Got clattered into, and official says nothing in it. I would tend to agree with your reaction to that no call.
Slow to get up by Katie.
Katie, the 5th-year senior to be at Butler. Elementary education major as a Bulldog. And simply put, one of the best players in this league. Probably one of the best women's players in the history of Butler University.
She's just one of those players that ends up in the right spot all the time. She works incredibly hard from the first whistle to the final whistle, and she is always dangerous running at players, but even just when she finds herself in the box and she's able to convert anything that's anywhere close to her.
Poole and McCarthy amongst the players that had a touch around the 18 for DCFC.
Good job through the midfield there and able to get out the other side.
Perfectly timed run. Now with the ball check up on the new turf. Nope. Flag goes up. Well, I will disagree with the lines person, because our broadcast location is pretty much on line with where that timed run was, and Chatterton was onside on that one. And for those that are used to watching men's matches here, where Margaret and I are broadcasting from today, is not where we normally would broadcast from on the men's side. We're up in the press box. We have an elevated perch to watch today's action. Ella Rogers will head it forward. Lifted out of the reach of Chatterton by the center back for Detroit City. Not exactly a lot of long-term possession by Detroit City so far in this matchup. They're going to give away by McCarthy, though, and here's an opportunity. This is Shannon McCarthy. So we will mention McCarthy going both directions. Robin for Indy, Shannon for Detroit City. And Shannon, too, a player that is post her collegiate days and has spent time playing in Japan, Sweden, and this is my favorite, Kazakhstan.
Why not, right? If you've given the opportunity, go and travel, go and play, go and do this stuff, and before you have to settle down and have a real job and a family life, all those kind of things that happen when you get older.
Shannon is from Michigan, but played her college soccer at the University of Miami in Florida. Cutback opportunity here. Chatterton trying to get some space to showcase that speed. Good turn by Addison. This ball sent forward. Could put Indy 11 in a tough spot. Leonard hustling back. Robin McCarthy is as well. Ball played across. Didn't get through. That was Kennedy White that was the target. She appreciated the idea, applauding the effort. But it will be a throw-in coming here for Detroit City.
That was a little bit of a dangerous option for them, getting in behind right there, and that's one of the things that does need to be cleaned up heading into the playoffs, just being sharp back there and not giving them those through balls in behind.
I love the players that take the room the track provides them. You get a run up, take it. And with that, this one reaches the edge of the 6, headed down, and dangerous ball that Wood could not get to, and Nakia Smith will simply watch this trickle over the byline for a Mackenzie Wood goal kick. Mackenzie Wood gets her 10th start of the season. Last time we saw the Indy 11, it was Kate Phillips that got the victory. Nona Reason got one match earlier as well. And Mackenzie's time in goal, 7 wins and 2 draws for the soon-to-be player at the University of Notre Dame after 4 successful seasons as the starting netminder at Northwestern.
Yeah, she just brings a ton of experience here, and she can keep everybody organized in front of her.
Mackenzie has allowed 6 goals in 9 matches played. And there has been 1 time this season that a team has scored multiple goals against the Indy 11. And go back to May 28th for that. Here's Addison, plays it across, again able to slide it through, just couldn't find a teammate. Nakia Smith with the rapid reaction. The ball goes all the way back to midfield for Detroit City, but they have at least kind of caught their breath in this match after the first, say, 8 or 9 minutes.
Starting to settle in just a little bit and be able to connect a couple of passes.
And temperatures here today in the low to mid 80s. So on that turf with the sun out, I guarantee you it's warm, but nowhere near what it would have been like in the last, say, 2 or 3 weeks. We are fortunate that we have the best weather day in a while for this women's match at 2 o'clock.
That is absolutely true. It just, the quality of the game will be much better.
Good looking ball forward here. It's Chester. Williams holds up her run, sneaks behind her defender. Now slides it forward. Can Chatterton get there? No. Well defended. It will be a corner, but that was well done by the Indy 11. Equally well done to defend by Detroit.
It's a combination of 3 or 4 passes along the way, starting in the midfield and just being unselfish, seeing each other, running off of whoever has the ball. So the 3 or 4 really, really positive things come out of that play.
Again, Williams is such a pro. And we have told her story. She has a great job as an environmental engineer here in Indianapolis, but there is no question still the skills of a professional level player. Was electing to play at the amateur level this summer.
And she's definitely a target here on this one, as is Molly with the head.
McCarthy didn't get to her after some pretty solid work. Not the best of efforts by Waymer, but frankly there was not an Indy 11 player close by to make her pay for that potential bobble, and it will be a throw-in coming close to the midfield stripe for the Indy 11.
That's why you put your defenders on the back post right there. That defender for her helped save that goal.
Good pressure by McLaughlin to come back and quickly win possession. It was equally as short-lived. Can White keep it in the field of play? The answer is yes. And when Detroit has gotten the ball to this point, they have shown some skill and put Indy in some dangerous spots.
They have 3 really good front players that are creating some problems here for the Indy 11.
I'm not sure that was the direction that one was supposed to go.
No.
And Wood will hit the reset button. By the way, today's matchup presented in part by Bet Rivers, official sports betting partner of the Indy 11. Bet Rivers, bet with a winner. Sometimes I lean on your years of technical expertise to point things like that out to me. I don't think that ball was supposed to go there. Coach, a succinct no. Agreed with my initial assessment.
You've watched enough soccer. You knew that one. That was easy.
Yeah.
A lot of time on the ball there for Maddie.
I think she was almost stunned that she had so much time on the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't usually happen in a game like this.
And Chatterton's speed is something to behold. She plays at the University of Tennessee from Noblesville. Soderstrom times her run perfectly. Has one player across in Williams. Williams, can she get to it? Yes, but not on frame. But it's almost like an area code with Williams. If you get it anywhere in her zone, she will find a way to make something happen.
It looked like she got bumped just a tiny bit off the ball, just set her a little bit unbalanced. Good defending by them, but another good chance by Maddie.
And entering play last night, 2 other players in the league had more goals than Maddie Williams. Amy Andrews of Tormenta, which is South Georgia, with 14. And Mia Asenio of Queensboro of New York had 11. Next was Maddie Williams with 10. Next was Katie Soderstrom with 9 for the Indy 11.
You know, it's unheard of, though. You have 2 players in the top 5 that both have scored that many goals. I mean, usually I'm sure these other guys with the next best player or the next most goals from their team is probably nowhere close.
By the way, this match brought to us by Community Health Network Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered. McCarthy got a bit nervous at the way that ball was traveling, but she had it handled the entire time. You can see a little bit of the ring rust for Molly, having not played really for the last 3 or 4 weeks at this point.
For sure. What are we, 15 minutes in? Yeah, I mean, they're just lack of fitness and lack of touch, just not having been out there for, I don't even know what it's been, 3 or 4 weeks, makes a difference.
Molly will play her 5th season at Xavier. The midfield combo today for the Indy 11. I think there's a good chance that's the midfield combo for the Xavier Musketeers in about 3 or 4 weeks.
That is true.
Ella Rogers.
Yep.
Soderstrom was just off.
Detroit's playing that high line. It's very inviting. It's very exciting, and it's almost a judgment call when it's so close right there. If we can get Katie to just kind of bend away from the ball and then sneak through, the ball goes straight. Katie runs diagonal. You end up with perfect timing on there.
Space and opportunity here for Detroit City, but could not keep it in the field of play. That is Maya Solis. There's been a solid core for this Detroit City team that has played in most matches, like Addison, Poole, White, McCarthy, Bayron, etc. But there are also some relatively new faces that have not gotten much in the way of playing time, and you tend to get to that at this level, where players' college commitments with having to be back on campus in the relatively near future start to lose some pieces towards the end of this shortened season. This is the 9th weekend of play here in the W League. 12th game for each of these 2. Mackenzie Wood late to get off her line, but again had acres of space to go track it down.
Yeah, that one was it's good that she came out. She asked for the ball to be in her hands instead of our backs, trying to face the wrong way and get out of that danger.
We showed you the graphic earlier in terms of teams that have clinched a playoff spot. That number 5, with 3 more to be decided over the course of the next 2 days. There are just a couple of matches tomorrow to finish out the regular season. I believe one of them in the Metropolitan Division does have a factor in terms of who's playing on Wednesday. Of the 44 W League teams, 8 qualify for the postseason. 7 division champs and 1 wild card that could come from the Metropolitan Division. That's the New York area, or the division in which these 2 teams play, the Great Lakes Division. Midwest United out of Grand Rapids. They are a team that, again, is one of 3 teams that are vying for that wild card spot going to the final 2 days of the season.
A little bit of miscommunication back there. Got to clean that up and figure out who knows who's doing what.
And that's somewhat surprising because those are 2 players that have really played together the entirety of the last 2 months in terms of Wood and McCarthy. Fantastic ball here. Chatterton couldn't win the foot race, and that's Gabby Tremonti that played it back to her keeper. Chester, is that a handball? Yep. Not deflected that out of bounds off her anyway. So throw in coming here for Detroit City. Nope, they'll call it was the handball, which is the right call.
Yeah, that last build out of the back, the center backs played it wide, got it back, played it wide, got it back, played it wide, kind of got stuck there, ran out of ideas. So maybe just a little bit quicker decision making back in there will help them be able to build and keep possession of the ball.
Take away by Kennedy White. White, long distance that you hear the oohs and ahs of the Brickyard Battalion. They saw that ball bending.
Didn't miss by much.
It bent around the far post. White with 2 goals in 9 matches played for Detroit City. She plays like many of these Detroit City players just down the road across the state line at Bowling Green in the Mid-American Conference.
Well, I just like her ability to pick up the ball and run, not be afraid to go ahead and go for it.
The outcome of this match is irrelevant in terms of what the end result will be for this season for Detroit City FC, what the playoff positioning will be for the Indy 11. Smith didn't like her play. She had to head that one back to the keeper, so she sweeps that to the side. Indy 11 will give up the corner kick here in minute number 21.
The Detroit game at their place, this is where they caused Indy 11 the most amount of problems. You know, these set pieces, corner kicks.
This one in the 6. Again, Wood couldn't get to it. Chatterton hustling. I think it's going to be another corner. Yes, it will be.
You're just kind of playing with fire, allowing this to continue to happen down here.
Low line drive that Chatterton will quickly sweep back towards midfield. Kept in play, though, by the visitors. And a throw-in coming here for Detroit City. Well, this reminder, fans, every Saturday morning on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Tune into Soccer Saturday. This week on the show, we talked to men's head coach Mark Lowry, new goalkeeper Sean Lewis, who happens to hail from the state of Michigan, and Ella Rogers was our guest. Go back and listen in podcast form at 1075thefan.com or anchor.fm/Indy-11.
That is not a good giveaway.
Yeah, miscue here. And Indy was dominant in the first 5 or 6 minutes. Credit Detroit City. They have suddenly flipped the script on this match. And we are seeing some somewhat uncharacteristic miscues by Indy.
Yeah, just easy giveaways that really put you under some pressure and in some dangerous spots.
And let's face it again, we have said this very recently. Even if there's a loss today for the Indy 11, you're a playoff team as of Wednesday. But at the same time, you want to be playing your best going to the postseason. Rogers, what a ball. Chester lines it up, slides it past, and just missed the far post.
But great composure for her to pick up her head. She knew she had a little bit of time and space. She looked towards that far post. She knew where she wanted to hit it and didn't miss by much.
That red headband she is wearing will serve her well, not just being the 3rd color of the Indy 11, but she will play at the University of Louisville in the very near future. She is one of Two soon-to-be Cardinals on the field for the Indy 11 today. Carson Cherry being the other. Both Indiana high school products. Carson at Central Catholic. Addie at Delta High School just outside of Muncie. In fact, Addie is the first Division I soccer recruit in the history of her high school.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
See, we try to educate you on the broadcast.
See, there you
if we
go.
have the opportunity. She also had 59 goals her junior year at Delta High School.
That's a lot of goals in a few games. So what's that, 2.5 a game?
Depending on how deep their tournament run that year would have been, you'd say 20-ish games played. So I'd say bump that number up to about 3.
It's impressive.
Yeah. We had a young lady last week for Kalamazoo that scored 87 in a high school season. It was, in fact, she scored last week, scored the goal for Zoo against Hannah Thompson against the Indy 11. Going to play at Eastern Michigan.
I guess you don't want to be playing against her, right?
No, no. Throw in coming here for Carson Cherry. And Carson got the start in the opening match for the Indy 11. Soderstrom finds the crevice of space. Soderstrom sizes up the angle. Katie scores it. Make it 2 goals scored for the Indy 11 in terms of players that have double digits on the season. 10 for Maddie Williams, 10 for Katie Soderstrom. Today's lesson plan, goals. And the Indy 11 have a 1-0 lead.
You know what? It's another great buildup and a really, really good ball, right? Cherry had it out of bounds. Jenna picked it up. Chatterton a couple of dribbles and was able to unselfishly find Katie, who did the rest. Had a bunch of time and space on the ball and knew exactly what she wanted to do.
I was unsure of the status of the apparatus in the Brickyard Battalion, but I can now officially tell you the smoke has been cued by the BYB. We'll work into the next goal call. 1-0 Indy, 25 minutes in.
I mean, what a great environment. They've been inside here at Graham Park for the other 5 games. No smoke and loud inside. So this is an awesome experience for the entire team.
Of course, these two clubs are so identified with their tremendous community support. The passion of the Detroit City supporters, of course, the Brickyard Battalion. Good to see so many of them here today. Well, you wouldn't say that goal for Indy was against the run of play in the first 10 minutes. You maybe might say it was in the kind of next 15. And now does that kind of spring the door open for the Indy 11?
Hopefully.
Rogers takes a tumble. It's back up quickly. That will be just a college sophomore this coming season. Part of the Xavier team that was one of the many in the Big East that qualified for the NCAA tournament. And Mackenzie Wood will have a goal kick coming up. The sports this match brought to us by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women. Chester looking to make the turn. Again, Williams couldn't level off the run in time. Just couldn't get back onside. She had kind of gone parallel, but never got back to fully onside. But again, you reference the high line, and you want your strikers pushing that envelope.
And I think maybe just one more, little combination, and then it goes a different diagonal ball in behind. Maddie will get on the other end of that one. But better job out of the midfield here.
Good read defensively by Tremonti. Tremonti played 2 years at the University of Dayton, transferring now to Appalachian State. Soderstrom, Williams, Chester played the turf bounce beautifully. Chatterton, well done. That's Tremonti again.
And a great recovery by Chet to put her under some pressure. Allows Indy to keep possession here.
Here's Julia Leonard. Leonard already spent 5 years playing at Butler University. She and Robin McCarthy along the back, lining in players that are and just trying to extend those playing days. Robin very much has her eyes set on playing professionally. Julia has maybe a bit more of a 50-50 proposition, as she is currently in physician's assistant school at Butler University. Cherry, the target here. She had broken off the run just a moment.
A lot of interchanging right now by the 11 players. You see Katie Soderstrom sliding across the midfield. You can hear Coach Dolinsky in the background yelling, "Get the ball." So players are going to continue to move around, see if they can't figure out how to get it and interchange here a little bit more.
Nakia Smith with the play to find Addie Chester, and now kind of realizes, hey, nobody's coming to me. I should just keep going forward. Good idea. What do you see as Nakia's kind of addition to the team? What does that mean for this group?
Well, she's strong defensively, but also in our last game, Kalamazoo, she was able to get forward and connect and serve some good balls in. So I think you'll continue to see that from her as we go forward.
And you and I expected that the person that shares your last name on the pitch would get about 30 minutes. And literally at the 30-minute mark, Molly McLaughlin will be exiting. Again, she's been dealing with a bit of a hip issue, I believe, over the last few weeks.
And Sierra Garber's their trainer. She has said you get 30 minutes, right? So when Sierra's spent a ton of time working with her, and obviously the staff, Paulie knows that this is what's in the best interest, and he's looking for next week, see if she can go.
So I haven't seen the board go up, but just kind of take a look. I believe that's Abby Isker that has come on to replace her for the Indy 11. We'll know for sure here in a matter of moments.
And that may mean that Ella Rogers slides back a little bit more into that 6 role, maybe side by side with Abby.
That is Abby Isker. And by the way, that's not the only substitution that's taking place. Detroit City is making an early sub here as well. So Lauren Morales will exit. Looks like Paige Beaudry is the player that will replace her. So both teams making the rare sub this early in the matchup. And again, for those that are used to watching high school or college soccer, this is not unlimited substitutions. This is 5, and once you are subbed out for, you are done for the day, much as you see at the professional level. Rogers, Williams, McCarthy. 5 options for Matta to choose from. Chester heads it down, but thinking everything she wanted to behind it, but still. Great ball by Williams, good recognition by Chester, and a goal kick coming for DCFC.
And it looks like Coach Dolinsky's put Carson Cherry into the 6, so she'll play that midfield role that Molly just left. Abby Isgers will play outside in the back on the left side there, right in front of the bench.
And again, Carson will play a more defensive role going forward in college, but played all over the field in high school at Central Catholic, part of 2 state championship games in soccer, 1 win, 1 loss against Park Tudor, and on the runners-up in 1A girls basketball at Central Catholic this year. And we talked a lot more about Carson because she frankly played a lot more early in this season. So it's funny that the times we're talking about here, we are 9 weeks removed from the first match in W League history. 9 weeks before that, Carson Cherry was playing in a basketball state championship game.
She's had a busy 2022.
And between that, she went to a high school prom, and she also graduated from high school and did the things that 18-year-olds normally do.
Well, she had a full club season as well,
right.
running in a playoff run with the 2003 Indiana Fire team.
Here's Abby Isker, and Detroit City knows her well. She had assists on 2 of the 3 Indy goals last week. Chester Chatterton got to it first. Waymer makes the save. Waymer hesitated for a moment, but did enough to make the play. And
that's a late call by the officials, calling Katie offside on that. You can hear Paulie yelling in the background.
Couldn't tell if that was Paulie or BYB. I couldn't tell which direction that was going.
Did not like that one.
Let's thank our friends at the Union Jack in Westfield. And of course, the Union Jack in Westfield has been the official pregame, postgame home for Indy 11 fans. The 5 women's matches at Grand Park. Union Jack in Westfield's a great place to go anytime you want to have a beverage and watch soccer. course, the food is fantastic as well. Go sit in the Indy 11 room. And, of course, if you're at the original in Broad Ripple, you'll also have a good time as well. Thanks to our friends at the Union Jack in Broad Ripple and Westfield for their support of Indy 11 soccer this season. Tremonti. The player had just broken off the run trying to stay onside. That was Beaudry that had just entered the match. But a good idea by DCFC.
Well, it's another long ball over the top with a little bit of lack of depth from our center backs right there. Fortunately, it was not an issue as it just ran straight out of bounds.
McCarthy. Long ball. But against Soderstrom, deemed to have been offside.
I'm going to disagree with that one as well. That's right in front of us. We'll let the fans take care of the disagreeing, though.
I almost think that Soderstrom holding up, kind of a slow run, almost threw the linesperson off. Like, in other words, like the linesperson thought that Soderstrom thought she was offside, and she was just kind of holding to make sure that she had timed it up perfectly. And one thing that these ladies have access to here that you don't have at Grand Park is a video board. So you may have seen Katie kind of point and say, hey, take a look at that. Officials really like that, by the way.
We have video available. It's just not reviewable.
Yep.
So
no VAR at the USL level just yet.
Probably okay. Let them just play here. A lot of time and space on the ball.
McCarthy. Williams with the slide pass to beat one. Get her left foot. Can she get a shot away? She does, but I don't think she wanted to on it, but kind of showing off everything in the toolbox on that one was Maddie Williams. Paul Dolinsky, how you feeling about how your team's playing right now?
I mean, I think they're doing what they need to do, right? They've had several really, really good chances. I think I would want the back line to be a little bit more clean. I think a couple of those opportunities we didn't need to give up. Balls given away too easily, kind of a thing. So that, but then I think they've done a really good job. They've had good quality chances, right? I mean, we could have scored 3 goals here. So a lot of positive stuff. And again, he's got some young kids out there trying to work and get ready for next week.
Here's White. Now back to Bayron along the back line. Bayron from Germany, a few years removed from her collegiate playing days at Bowling Green. Good looking ball here, trying to find Addison. Isker does what she needed to sweep that ball away. And here comes the space to operate for Jenna Chatterton. That will be a throw in coming for the Indy 11.
Yeah, it looks like she took her touch right into the defender instead of pushing it wide where she had all kinds of room to run.
Playing in the SEC, knowing her skill set, what's her best position? We've kind of seen her play all over the field. What's her best position in terms of as a collegiate player?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they need on that team. She's just so dangerous with the ball at her feet. I think a lot of schools have gone to playing those kind of players at outside back and allowing them that space to run. Especially, you don't see very many front players who like to defend and like to track. So if she can get out and get running, she's a really, really dangerous person.
I have the fortunate nature, obviously, to broadcast the men's games for the Indy 11 as well, and I would second that opinion based on what I see at that level of soccer, where that is where you see the speed merchants outside back at this point.
And they used to just play up top and run by people, but now the way that teams are playing in a 4-3-3, you know, you sink the front players in a little bit tighter and allow the outside backs to get forward. That's for sure, you know, tactical choice right now that's being pretty popular. It's one of the things that Nakia did a good job of last weekend. Haven't seen her get forward as much as Chat and Carson on the other side.
Tremonti does just enough to knock that ball away from Jenna Chatterton. Let's thank our friends, the presenting sponsor of the Indy 11. You see them on the front of the jerseys, both the men and the women, our Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11 and have been since day number 1. That partnership was announced back on October 1st of 2013. Nearly 7 months before the Indy 11 men first kicked the ball in this stadium on April 12th, 2014.
I mean, that's been a great relationship, right? Just their support is much needed and much appreciated.
Ball poked away. Opportunity here. The 11 defenders converge. Now kind of holding up for possession was Detroit City. That was Cecilia Mernati that was the player that had the opportunity. Isger out to defend for Indy and positioned that one perfectly.
That was good work by Carson Cherry after the ball got taken away, right? She's right back in. The center back stepped and slowed them down, so it was good defending there by 11.
Let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you to Jordan Shue, Alan Hughes, Rob Lynch, Dennis Glover, and Henry Tiegler. Thank you, fellas, for your hard work all season long. Again, if there are postseason matchups, either at Grand Park or here, we will have them for you. Same place as you have watched these matches all season long, ISC Sports Network, 11 Sports, and hopefully on Comcast 81.
Great defending by Abby Isger. She's strong. That's the best player on their team over there that she's in a battle with, and she was able to come away with the ball and then had the composure to connect a pass.
That's Kayla Addison. Addison, 10 years removed from playing college soccer. She played at Grand Valley State University. When she graduated, she was 4th in school history with 58 goals scored at GVSU.
And that's a program that's been a great program for a lot of years, deep into the playoffs all the time, and a lot of wins. 7
national championships in the last 13 years for the Lakers out of Allendale, Michigan. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. In the men's match at 7. First time these two teams have played an official match on the men's side against each other. Offside flag goes up against Detroit City. The Indy 11 men played a friendly at Detroit in 2019. The two teams played each other in a preseason match at Grand Park earlier this year. But the Detroit City men making their way up from the NISA level, or the 3rd tier of American professional soccer. And they have fared quite well in the USL Championship in this their first season. Their head coach Trevor James, a former assistant for the men's program here with the Indy 11. That's at 7 o'clock. You can catch that on MyIndy TV 23 and on ESPN+.
A fun day out at the mic.
We've never had a day like this one before. You occasionally have IUPUI playing some doubleheaders here. We'll finish that thought in a moment. Trying to catch the keeper off her line, and immediately the hand goes up for Chatterton saying, hey, my fault. Should have played that off to a teammate, but trying to catch Waymer napping.
Not a bad idea. I think she just was a little far out, further than her range.
Busiest days at this facility tends to be the high school state championships. When they have 4 on a Saturday they get played here. The last weekend in October. Nakia Smith, good touch. Just bumped off the ball there, and not enough in it for a whistle. Restart coming here for Detroit City.
But again, she had time and space on the ball coming out of the back. So that's a good attack by her.
Here's a look. This is Poole.
Running in behind on the other side.
Gives it a shot, and Wood had it lined up the entire time. Detroit City's been pretty solid around the 18. It's that last touch or run inside of the 18 that has been the problem.
And they've put a couple of shots on goal from a little bit further out.
I'm not sure why we would have a conversation between fourth official and referee. I wonder if there's an issue with the communication device is the problem. Hence, that way you could not relate exactly, hey, here's how many minutes of stoppage time you put on the board coming up here in a matter of moments.
She's heading off to...
But I would assume we're having a technology timeout right now. So I'm sure there was a simple, hey, 1 or 2 in terms of what's going to be shown on the board for the fourth official. There you see the Northern Guard support group. Not surprising that they made the short trip southwest to watch both halves of these doubleheaders. No, it's the atmosphere at Keyworth Stadium in Hamtramck, where the Detroit City men and women play, is absolutely fantastic. There was really kind of a showcase match for the USL Championship there a couple of weeks ago. Williams got taken down again. Official says ball first. We play on.
That was another dangerous look. Maddie getting in behind. Would have been a nice time to get a second goal in here right before the half.
It took until the second half to score when these two teams played 8 days ago. Indy's got one. They're looking for more. 3 minutes of added time before we get to halftime. Ask for a handball. Don't get it. Left foot doesn't get through off McCarthy.
Great stop by Robin there. She took one for the team.
Smith does enough to create some space. Lee Poole, the player that got dispossessed there. Here's Abby Isker, one of the many Butler University Bulldogs that plays for this Indy 11 squad. And literally, training will start for them late July, first week of August, and did a couple of preseason exhibition matches, and by about August 25th, you're playing for real.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming up quick. They get no chance to have a break.
And just swept out to safety that time by Chester. By the way, coming up at halftime, we're going to have a montage of some of the best home goals this season for the Indy 11. Thankfully for this group, there has been a lot to choose from. Halftime highlights and more coming your way as well. And again, Indy will be playing on Wednesday night. Whom and where? TBD. Announcement comes from the USLW League on Monday as to the playoff permutations. Soderstrom knocks it forward. Williams gets onside. Rogers making a supporting run. Maddie takes a look, plays it across, and it will be a corner coming here for Indy.
One last chance here before the halftime whistle.
You see on your screen about a minute or so of added time before we get to our halftime break. Soderstrom will send it in. She's got 5 players to pick from. At the edge of the 6, 3 Indy 11 players converge on it. Nobody made good contact with it. Chatterton redirects. Rogers, can she poach on it? Rogers goes down. Follow up by McCarthy. That'll be deemed as a flag against the Indy 11. Foul whistle. Or is it a corner that's been called?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching the lines person. The way that she waved the flag and pointed, I thought she was going to say foul going against Indy, but it will be a corner instead.
We'll take another chance.
Again, Soderstrom looking back post. You can never get really a boot to it. Now here's a 1v1 chance. Can Smith win the foot race against Addison? Yes, she does. Well defended, and clearly you see the appreciation from the BYB, and you hear it, and that's a good way to end the half right there.
Yep. That was a dangerous one, and again, that's their best player right there running at you, and Nakia did all she needed to do, and Z was right there to give her that information and sweep up that last ball.
Just one goal so far in the regular season finale for the Indy 11 as they look for win number 10 in 12 matches played in this inaugural W League season. Our score at the break, Indy 11 1, Detroit City 0. You're watching USL W League Soccer on ISC, Comcast 81, and 11 Sports.
Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. That means you get more miles per gallon with Honda. Save at the pump with up to 40 mpgs for Honda cars and SUVs. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Everybody has different needs and different abilities to seek care, and we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the patient in the way they want to seek care. Certainly, I feel that COVID has changed the way we deliver healthcare. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Patients have responded to the virtual options. Many find it such a positive experience, and they want it to continue. And that's what we're really committed to doing here, is creating a simple option, the option that suits the patient.
Stand by me.
In 7 years, you can meet, get married, have kids, get a dog, and still be covered in your Honda certified vehicle. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus factory-trained technicians and Honda genuine parts. Search a local Honda dealer today.
Back at Carroll Stadium, affectionately known as the Mike. This is the 9th year of Indy 11 men's soccer. This is the 6th year that this facility has played host to the team, from 2014 through 2017, and each of the last 2 years, with 3 years in between at Lucas Oil Stadium. For the first time, the Indy 11 women are playing here, and much as they have done in their brief history, the Indy 11 women are leading. 1-0 is the score. One of 3 unbeaten teams going to the final weekend of the season, and one of 5 teams that have clinched a playoff berth coming into this regular season finale. Margaret McLaughlin, Greg Rakestraw with you. We'll have more on this match coming up in just a matter of moments. But it has been a season worth reliving for the girls in blue, as they are affectionately known. From the opening night on May 6th against Kingshammer FC to every home match since that time, the Indy 11 have pulled the full 3 points in all 5 home matches. Enjoy some of the best moments of the home season, goal calls and all, from May 6th until today. Good step, opportunity here. Now there's a 4v2 for Indy. Soderstrom sprung forward. Barr to her left. Soderstrom on the cutback, gives it a blast to the left foot. Well done. Here's the volley. It finds the back of the net. And the first goal in the history of the W League belongs to the Indy 11. Cue the thunderous applause and cheers. We can't put smoke indoors, but the Indy 11 are on the board in minute number 9.
That was a great counter for Grace. I think it was Grace that picked up that ball, intercepted that pass, found Katie in behind. Katie was able to get behind her defender, take that one shot, and then we were able to finish it off. So great stuff.
The opening goal in club history belongs to Rachel McCarthy. Williams tracks it down. Beautiful cutback move by Williams. Williams looking for a teammate, slides it across, and in the back of the net. Give Williams the assist. The first goal in Indy 11 history belongs to Rachel McCarthy. The first brace in Indy 11 history belongs to Rachel McCarthy. Put it on the board one more time. 2-0 for the Indy 11 in minute number 18.
That's a fantastic run by Rachel coming out of the midfield, and for sure Maddie to get that service in and across. It was right where she needed it. There was no defenders in the area, and she took advantage, slammed it home.
Lynch has an opening, left foot, and Lynch ends the 0-0 aspect of the game.
You should have been talking about that earlier.
My bad. Christina Lynch, the goal at Indy 11. 1 goal to the good in the 41st minute.
Way to go. That was a great look. The defense just split both of them. She was right in the middle. She's running at them. They didn't know. No one stepped. Wicked left foot.
You know, it just really went from Maddie Williams. You know, Maddie is not the one to continue to run behind as much as, you know, Rachel McCarthy would or Katie Soderstrom would. So for her to make that run behind was just pure intelligence.
Nice little look for it for Gosh Dabrowski. Knocks it across, looking for Sohaki. On the ricochet, Johnson now gives it a hit, and Johnson gets the goal. At 14 years old, she'll seal it for the Indy 11 in the 89th minute. Make your team debut on Friday and score in your second game for the team.
That's awesome. She's just a great kid. Her hard work all the time. She deserves that. Picks her head up very quick, finds that, and look at the excitement.
She is playing with players that in some cases are 7, 8, and 9 years older that are on the field right now. You know it by her stature. You wouldn't know it by her talent. Good step. Opportunity here. I think if you ask the 4v2 for women's players, they'll tell you their favorite goal of the season was Emma's last week that got the goal. Again, for those that weren't watching last week, 14 years old. She's about to be a high school freshman. She got to play as a sub against Detroit City 8 days ago. She might feature as a sub today as well. Indy a 1-goal lead at halftime. Stay tuned. Highlights, a quick check of the league standings, and again some playoff conversation. Know that the Indy 11 are bound for the playoffs in 4 days. Talk about that when we return to Carroll Stadium. Indy leads at a 0-0 as you're watching on ISC, Comcast 81, and 11 Sports.
Place your soccer bets at Bet Rivers Sportsbook, your new home for soccer betting. The most soccer betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on major soccer matches worldwide. We have tons of bets available during game, from money lines, goal spreads, player goals, half bets, and many more. Bet Rivers is proud to be the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11, Indiana's team. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your bets at betrivers.com.
So many people were out of work from COVID, not being able to pay their utility bills, not being able to pay their rent, and that's why our job is so important.
And what we've committed to is working with our partners around food pantries, around making sure that people get connected to what they need.
Our job is more than just giving people resources, it's be that hand to help them when they're feeling down.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/simply delivered. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
The BYB taking a chance to hydrate on this warm day, knowing this is the first half of a double dip for most of those fans as well. 1-0 the score, Indy leading Detroit City. Greg Rakestraw, Margaret McLaughlin with you. Time to take a look now at our first half highlights. And again, Margaret, it was a flurry of activity the opening 6 minutes. It looked like it could have been a 4 or 5 goal first half, given how the opening few minutes went today.
Yeah, you're looking at Addie Chester, Maddie Williams. They're twice in on goal. I know Katie Soderstrom got in once. A lot of good chances for the 11 starting off the game. Once, though, the match got to about minute number 10, to Detroit City's credit, they really settled into the match. And while they've given up some space in the midfield, when they've had the ball around the 18, there have been some nervous moments for Indy. And they've done a good job playing from their midfielders to their front players, right? And then they've been able to get wide, get in behind, and that's caused some problems for the 11 defenders. Getting shots have not been a problem for the Indy 11 in terms of those you want to take those shots. Maddie Williams and Katie Soderstrom. But Katie Soderstrom, on this moment, would get her 10th goal of the season. The Indy 11, the only team to have 2 double-digit goal scorers in the W League. I mean, just what a testament, what a credit to both of those players and the players behind them who keep feeding them the balls, putting them in good spots, allowing them to get those finishes. Well, the division standings have been, again, somewhat less relevant over the course of the last couple of games.
but they're sponsored, so let's show them to you. They're brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women. Again, 12 games constitutes a full season. Indy clinched their playoff spot, clinched the division championship by winning at Detroit City 8 days ago. They then backed that up by beating Kalamazoo on Sunday. And again, Midwest United is the team that can still potentially get the final playoff spot. Indy played that team one time and beat them 1-0 back on June 3rd. So Indy knows they'll be a playoff team. That is also the case for other teams around the USLW League. So you haven't seen teams outside of this division yet. Hopefully for the Indy 11, you'll see 2 or 3 over the course of the next 2 weeks. Here are the other teams that join them in terms of the playoff scenarios that have clinched going into the weekend. FC Miami City, they have not lost. Greenville Liberty, 1 loss on the season. McLean Soccer out of Virginia suffered their only loss early this week, but again, they have wrapped up a division championship. And if there is a team that has somewhat equaled Indy 11 in terms of crowds and pregame buzz and attention, etc., it has been Minnesota Aurora. That is a potential playoff opponent for Indy on Wednesday. Again, everything gets announced on Monday, but it is possible that Indy and Minnesota could play each other on Wednesday. Minnesota also could be the only team that finishes with more points on the season than do the Indy 11, because they entered today's match at 10-0-1. Indy entered at 9-0-2. And if you wonder why, hey, why could possibly the 2 top points getting teams play each other in the first playoff game? Because at this level, you try to do things from a regional perspective to keep costs to a minimum. And so if those 2 teams end up playing each other, well, that's unfortunate, but it's also part of what is understood. It is also simply put, Margaret, that if it's those 2 teams on Wednesday, whomever wins that game will be the favorite for the next 2.
Right, and they both have done a really good job in this inaugural season with obviously all these wins in their games and the environment that they've created. So both deserve to be there. Those 2 are going to be told how great of a time they had at this match years down the road. And maybe somebody will let them know they appeared on television when they were here as well. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, second half action from the mic. The ladies in blue returning to the pitch. Detroit's going to be doing the same. Indy, a goal to the good as you're watching USLW League Soccer on ISC, Comcast 81 and 11 Sports.
Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. That means you get more miles per gallon with Honda. Save at the pump with up to 40 mpgs for Honda cars and SUVs. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Everybody has different needs and different abilities to seek care, and we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the patient in the way they want to seek care. Certainly, I feel that COVID has changed the way we deliver healthcare. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Patients have responded to the virtual options. Many find it such a positive experience, and they want it to continue. And that's what we're really committed to doing here, is creating a simple option, the option that suits the patient.
Stand by me.
In 7 years, you can meet, get married, have kids, get a dog, and still be covered in your Honda certified vehicle. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus factory-trained technicians and Honda genuine parts. Search a local Honda dealer today.
Brickyard Battalion getting ready for half number 2. We hope you are doing the same. I'll get alongside Margaret McLaughlin, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the ISC Sports Network, Comcast 81 and 11 Sports. Katie Sodders from the goal, the 10th of the season for her. And I think now the question is, you've got 4 more substitutions to use if you're Paul Delinsky. At what, you kind of play this out, or do you have like a set time where you say, all right, you and you're done at this minute of half number 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, probably Maddie Williams is the next one off. Just kind of rest her for this next week. you know, I think Katie's one of those people that can run for 90 minutes days in a row.
And you at least were able to give Katie a day off last Sunday. This is her only match of the week, so.
Right. So Maddie probably is one that comes out soon. But again, who else? Ella Rogers has not gotten any rest lately at all. But she's your engine in there right now in the middle of the midfield. So my guess is he goes another 10 or 15 minutes before he makes a sub.
I think about this almost like the old days of having 4 preseason games in the National Football League. On the third one, you had to call it the dress rehearsal. Like you played your starters till about the midway point of the third quarter and said, that's enough.
And we say that, and there's somebody at the table checking in right now, so he's going to make at least one.
So sub number 2 for the Indy 11 is about to happen. Bulatovic will be coming in, and you were saying Maddie Williams has seen enough. She's done.
There you go.
45 minutes and gets to rest up.
Yeah, well deserved, right? I mean, she's had a great season, great last 2 games. She's dangerous. Let's get Millie out there, see if she can run around just a little bit, help keep the ball in the midfield.
So Bulatovic is in. 3 more subs with which the Indy 11 have to work with. Carson Cherry will send this ball towards the edge of the 18. Cherry.
It's a good looking ball.
Can Chatterton get there? Yes. But deemed to have been offside. There have been some offside flags go up today that I kind of have a second look at.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that one.
Yep.
I almost thought they were just calling that out of bounds, but
right.
I guess it.
Chester will work her way around McCarthy. Slides it through perfectly for Soderstrom. Soderstrom, ball goes through. Left foot does not get through. Bayron the block.
But what a great run by Katie in behind. She timed it, she spun off, and she's able to with her left foot she picked her head up. She wasn't even looking towards the goal. She just knew she wanted to pick out Millie right there.
And how about Bulatovic? Her first touch of the match could have been a goal. She hit it well, but well defended by one of the veteran defenders, Bayron, for.
Katie's had 2 really good services in here.
Bulatovic. Ball knocked down. I think there has been a goalkeeper change, by the way, for Detroit City. So we'll track that coming up here in a matter of moments as well. I think that is Bethany Copel that is going to get the second half of this match for DCFC. That ball didn't find Soderstrom. It did find Bulatovic for a moment, and Bayron will do enough to prevent the corner. It'll be a throw-in coming here for Detroit City.
But again, some dangerous minutes for them, right? Indy came out again, pressing and pressing, putting them on their back heels.
So both teams have used 2 of their 5 substitutions so far. Let's see how much of the track McCarthy will take up on her run. And she will follow the lead of her Detroit City counterpart to get at least 3 lanes of a build-up here. To the edge of the 6, Rogers was the target. This ball will again stay to the near side as you're watching it of the corner flag. McCarthy will put even more oomph behind this one. Bayron will sweep this away, looking for Ellie Poole. Cherry takes a tumble. Throw in coming here for Detroit City FC. Julia Leonard. Bulatovic. Bulatovic will play at VCU coming up this fall. Played at Northern Oklahoma Junior College, where she scored 41 times in 33 matches over the last 2 years. Here's Cherry. Cherry. Chatterton lifts it over. Can Soderstrom get there? No.
Good idea by Chat in behind.
Cherry just didn't have the window. Katie was dragging that run as best she could, trying to stay on side. By the way, this match brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Smith.
A little off balance there, having a hard time clearing that ball.
Poole. Left foot, Wood. Kind of scared her for just a moment, but she had it covered the entire way.
Looked like it kind of spun. She had look, and then she had to dive to that side to jump on it.
46 saves entering today's match for McKenzie in 9 matches played. Bolatovich, well done. Knocks it forward. Soderstrom just kind of veered the other direction. Kopel will get there in time.
Love to see Millie keep that ball just a little bit longer, allow Katie's run to get into a better spot. You mentioned before trying to break the record here for a women's soccer game. How did you think the crowd did today?
Well, that will be announced coming up here at some point in time. Wood, late to get off her line, but made the record. I am hopeful we will have broken the record of over 4,100. Honestly, until a couple of days ago, I did not know where that record had come from in terms of what match. It was the U.S. women's national team in 1996. And a match against France that was the record holder.
Okay, 4,100. We could maybe be close here today.
The block by Chester. Here's Addison. The back heel that Smith sweeps away and played off a Detroit City coach. Luckily, he was out of play. Throw in coming here for the visitors.
Detroit's been content right now to just kind of move the ball around, keep it, not necessarily going forward, not in a hurry, just kind of keeping it, keeping possession. Looks like she's lining up for a long throw. We'll see how far she can get it in there.
Off of Smith, Rogers, shoulder to shoulder with Kennedy White. All sent in, pull the target. Isger got there first. And Abby hustling towards the touchline, and if nothing else, buys about 40 yards of the real estate with that effort. And the throw in coming here for Indy.
Yeah, you can hear Katie in the background saying, let's keep it, let's keep it. And that would makes this game a little bit easier and less running if you can have possession of the ball.
Here's Chatterton. Give her space, she can be dangerous. She picked her up, Soderstrom's off again.
I'm not sure Katie was, but.
Right, the other player to her right was, which is before, as I was literally starting to say, pick the right player, thinking Soderstrom was onside. Linesperson thought otherwise.
I don't know why they keep disagreeing with us. We're way up here.
Well, the thing is that we're also always right. Chester. That's sarcasm, by the way, folks. Just to, we're right most of the time. There we go. Throw in coming.
It's a good run by Chester. See if she can't get it behind just a little bit, but throw it in, make it there.
Isger, good step.
You get the sense that a goal here would really deflate the Detroit City team, probably invigorate the 11 just a little bit. Again, have a couple of good looks early, settled in, and let Detroit's been better with keeping possession.
There was 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of half number 2 8 days ago. Haven't tallied one in this half just yet. Addison makes the turn. Now it's 2v3. Smith sprinting back, and again, Smith has been really good in those 1v1 situations with Addison. That has been a good matchup.
That's a huge responsibility. That one's off. Oh my. Huge responsibility for Nakia Smith dealing with her. Done a good job. I'd like to see her get out of there. She had possession of the ball, and instead of just kicking it, could she keep it a couple more touches and find a teammate?
We got an equipment. I think Bulatovic has a piece of jewelry that she neglected to take off before entering the match. So hence the delay. And the 11 substitutions have yet to be used. Kate Phillips, the backup netminder, the senior to be at Cathedral High School. Had a great chance to talk with her and her dad, Chris, after the match last week. Kate is an aspiring broadcaster. I did my best to talk her out of it.
Now we know if she's not playing on a given day, she can come up here and take my seat.
I didn't invite her to do that. I said, you are welcome to join me at an Indy 11 men's match. And job chat is what we call it.
Okay.
In the industry. At any point in time, once the season is over, she's going to head to the University of Missouri and play in the SEC after her senior season at Cathedral. Chatterton lays it forward, trying to find Bulatovic. Soderstrom, a quick touch. Springs it for Bulatovic. Bulatovic gives it a go, but misses it just wide of the near post. But again, the effort appreciated by the BYB.
Well, yeah, and it was a perfect run. Bulatovic to just pull off of the defenders right there. She didn't go higher. She went wider. Katie was able to slot that ball to her, and she could take a touch before she teed it up to hit it.
This portion of this match presented by Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered. McCarthy has to play that ball away from Cecilia Mernati.
Another long throw.
And for those watching outside of Indianapolis, this facility in the neighborhood of 40 years old, built for the National Sports Festival back in the early 80s. Served as the centerpiece for the Pan American Games in 1987. Opportunity here. Left foot. Wood with the save, and Wood has to hustle to beat Addison to the ball. Didn't realize Addison was as close as she was, and McKenzie quickly retreats back inside of the 6.
It's a great point-blank save by Mackenzie Wood. It's one of her strengths right there, is anything in and around that area.
And Wood able to pick that one up. Well, Mackenzie's day in the spotlight clearly for the Indy 11 was really in a match that nobody could see because there's no video stream. It was the match against Racing Louisville on May 20th, where she had 13 saves in a 2-0 victory. Again, she has been solid every match out, but she's not been called as much as she was on that night.
And everybody who came back from that game said we could have lost 6-2 if it wasn't for Mackenzie. So all of those saves, she was great, and they were much needed.
Well, McCarthy, a player that committed the foul for Detroit City, as we referenced, she has played overseas in 3 different countries. That was a professional foul she just gave right there. I'm beat. Let me grab the shoulder. Okay, everybody gets reset.
Yeah, no help in behind, so slow her down somehow.
Cherry just didn't hit that one properly. Bayron got in the way. She's been really solid. So there are 3 players on this 11 currently in the field for Detroit City that are past their college playing days. And you kind of see that veteran experience on the squad. Soderstrom sends it in. Bulatovic was the target, but never got to it. Now Smith, a throw-in coming for the visitors from Detroit.
Yeah, and you can see that experience with those guys who have played overseas or have played in the pro league and just are finished with college. They're a little bit more calm on the ball. They give good information to their younger teammates. Nobody panics.
Chatterton, left foot. And that speed to Bernard Chatterton. Tremonti didn't handle it cleanly. Couldn't sneak it by Bethany Copel.
That was all she could do to take a first-time hit on that ball, and a good save by the goalkeeper for sure.
See two subs returning towards the bench area for Indy. So a couple of fresh faces could be coming in momentarily. Opportunity here, ball played across. Bulatovic doesn't get through. Left foot also doesn't get through. Chester waits. Chester scores.
Right.
Cue the smoke for the second time today. Addie Chester gets her second goal in the 11 uniform. 2-0 for Indy in minute number 60.
You had a feeling it was coming. They were knocking on the door, putting pressure on them, finding those holes. Millie's had a couple of really good shots, and that one just bounced off and right to where she was standing. Good little touch by Addie.
Great patience by Chester. Now, that may technically end up going down as an own goal. I don't think so. It took 2 touches off Tremonti before it steered in. We'll give credit to the young lady that hit it first for the Indy 11. But 2-0.
I think that's a really important goal, especially at this time right here, right at 60 minutes. If we're talking about subbing, maybe he feels a little bit better getting some more players some rest before the playoffs start, just a few short days.
I think Phillips might be coming in here too. I think they may say, hey, let's rest Mackenzie Wood for 30 more minutes. We'll see. Actually, she's gone back to warm up. Because it looks like there might be a line change coming in for the Indy 11. Again, you're limited to 2 players that can enter. Yep, Phillips might not get a chance to play in today's game. We'll see.
Yeah, it looks like the other 4 are out coming in.
Chatterton couldn't slide it through, but it will be a corner kick coming. And again, by my count, you can only sub 3 of those players because you've already subbed 2 in. With Bulatovic having come in for Williams. Chester, again the cutback. Chester right foot, doesn't get through. Loose change. Cherry no. Rogers no. Cherry goes down. A penalty. Penalty coming for Indy. Cherry got taken down from behind when she had a chance to knock it home. Spot kick coming for Indy, and it could be 3 momentarily.
Hopefully this is Katie Soderstrom. Yes, it is.
Which would give her a chance for another brace, 11 on the season. And the player that will get credited for the foul that resorted in the PK, Maya Solis, who again knocked Carson Cherry over.
That's just a scrappy play by a bunch of players. Everybody's going for the ball in there, and good things happen when you attack this goal.
Nothing but positive encouragement from the BYB right now.
Right, I mean, that is not where that goalkeeper wants to be right now. She's wishing it was anywhere else.
Soderstrom scores it.
Wow.
Time to get the smoke queued up one more time. Give Katie the brace. For a second time in as many weeks, Indy has a 3-0 lead against Detroit City FC.
That puts Katie right for second place in goal scoring in the league as well.
All right, so again, 4 subs for the Indy 11 are lined up. See the replay, and you get nothing that Copel could have done about that. Clinical from Katie Soderstrom. Soderstrom will exit. Reese Sohaki will come in. Carson Cherry is done. Emma Johnson will come in. Becky Dean will enter. And she will replace Addie Chester for the Indy 11. And the 4th and final substitution, Greta Krasula will come in. And Jetta Chatterton is done for the match.
Cherry, Chat, and Chester on their way out.
And again, this could have been drawn up any better if you're the Indy 11.
No, right? You get a bunch of goals here today. You get the crowd excited. You finish off with a win, and you get to rest some players heading into the playoffs. Fingers crossed still, nobody gets hurt.
By the way, last week, both Emma Johnson and Reese Sohaki, because of a late change of uniform, or different numbers because, well, they had to go to white jerseys because of the light blue in the Kalamazoo jerseys. So this week, both Emma and Reese get to wear jerseys that actually have their own last names on them.
Didn't matter last week
No.
for Emma Johnson. She's still going to score a goal.
There's Hockey from Shutout High School, where she will be a sophomore.
That's good defending by Indy 11, able to keep possession. Can we go out the other way?
There's Johnson. Her goal was up for goal of the week this week in the USLW League. Looks like Kate Phillips will come on as well. She has made her way to the fourth official. So Mackenzie Woods can get a little respite before Wednesday night. And a foul has been whistled against Detroit City. So Mackenzie Wood will get about 9 2/3 games in this regular season. She will have allowed 6 goals during that time.
That's an outstanding season for her. And let's keep it going next week, right?
In today's matchup, presented in part by Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered. Addison is done for Detroit City.
Take some pressure off of our back line. She's a great player. Very dangerous. Somebody you got to pay attention to.
16 players in uniform for DCFC today, so they have 2 more subs remaining, both in terms of normal number of subs allowed and simply put, availability. Rogers. Dante May with the ball first. Kia Smith.
Well done. Well defended right there.
Player she able to knock that ball away from just entered for Detroit City and Taylor Meadows. By the way, this match presented in part by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women.
Also entering in the 11.
Here's Emma Johnson. Johnson is fouled. A lot of the players you would normally say, all right, here's who's taking this set piece, are now on the bench. So have a chance to see a little further down the depth chart is going to get the opportunity.
This is Risa Hockey, and this is one of her strengths, right? It's maybe a little bit out of her range because you're looking at probably 28 yards. They may look to play short, continue to build, but she also may have a go at it. You hear the BYB guys yelling, shoot it, so maybe she will.
So Hockey gives it a hit. Goes directly at Kopel. So Indy on their way to 10 wins. 12 matches played. And they had a draw against Kings Hammer on the road on June 14th. And had a 2-2 draw, and that is a foul on Johnson. A 2-2 draw against Ann Arbor FC in their lone meeting back on May 28th. And that was really the one time that Indy flirted with the loss the entire year. They were down 2-0 with 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was not one of their finer performances. I think they started really slow. They actually just gave up a goal, 30 seconds into the game, and everyone was going, wait, what just happened? They settled down and played just a little bit, still gave up another goal. But yeah, did a really good job to come back and claw out of that big hole that they created. Probably a little bit of a turning point too, to say we can't lose focus, we can't lose momentum, can't lose those things that we're trying to accomplish right here.
McCarthy over to try to sweep that one away. And wisely realized she had played that off of a Detroit City player. Excellent throw into Becky Dean. Dean on the front foot.
Good run by Reese to come and pick up that ball right there. There you go. We don't have to be in a hurry, right? It's all right to just move the ball and keep it here a little bit. It's a lot easier when the game's right there on balls at our feet.
Possession has not changed with these new faces in for the Indy 11. And almost all of them in the attacking, half of the field.
Well, the back four has done a good job. They've been solid today. They've done what they had to do, obviously, but thus far a clean sheet.
Giveaway here. Opportunity for Emma Johnson. Johnson left foot. And she was a goalkeeper's parry away from having a goal in a second time in as many matches.
I mean, she just picks her head up. She knows exactly where she is, and she's able to strike it where she wants all of the time. She's got such good technique.
And again, let's reference, she has played basically at a national team level in her age group, correct?
She's been into the training pools, so she has not played on the full side at all. Her team here at Indiana Fire just went out to the playoffs at the U15 level, so they won the division or the conference here in the Ohio Valley.
This one holds up and really no traffic in front of Copel. Hard to make the play.
Yeah, but she's been invited to a lot of training camps. She just got invited to the ECNL training camp that will be in Oregon in a few months here. But so she's on notice. You put her with 15-year-olds and you can tell what she would do on a field of 15-year-olds. And she's never been afraid of the big kids. And she just sees things really clear.
Well, she just scored on 20-something 6 days ago, and I think she got a chance to do that again here today. So to give you the idea as to the bright soccer future this young lady has in front of her.
Well, she just never panics. She finds herself in good spots. She's patient to hang out here and wait for this ball. She doesn't put balls in the air, like that. That's really difficult to handle to give your teammates. So she's always doing the little things that make it easier for those around her.
Got a good look at Becky Dean on the screen, who plays at Butler. She, Katie Soderstrom, Abby Isger, all Butler Bulldogs on this roster.
Yep, they've had a couple of good seasons here in a row, and they will have another good one coming up here.
Yeah, they're good every year at this point. Georgetown, of course, has been the best program in the Big East, but Butler and Xavier are right behind them.
They are, and they've chipped away a little bit of that dominance by Georgetown.
Here's Dean. She's onside. Dean, a couple of touches, tried to play it across. Bayron got in the way.
Bayron's done a good job every time we've gone down that flank.
Nice ball headed forward by Bulatovic. Here's Dean. Dean sends it in. Of course, I try to get in every time where she played her high school soccer at Mount Notre Dame, especially since Rose Lavelle scored a goal in the World Cup qualifying clinching match on Thursday.
It's all right to talk about that.
Got to mention that up.
Yeah, for sure.
In case you were busy this week, took the U.S. women 4 days to clinch a World Cup spot. Johnson weaving her way through traffic. Johnson left foot doesn't get through. Tremonti got in the way. The final two subs, by the way, appear at the fourth official for Detroit City. As literally, if you made the bus trip and you got a chance to play in today's season finale.
You are getting in the game.
In 44 teams in the W League, 8 advance on to Wednesday. The Indy 11 are one of them.
Do you know when that Midwest game is? Is that tonight or tomorrow?
I believe it's tonight. I think they got Ann Arbor, I think.
So they could find out.
Correct. Again, but they also, I think, have to wait on what happens in the Metropolitan Division. Yep. Basically, Midwest United has to win and then needs to get some help. This one, looking back post, just a little bit up and over the bar. See if we get the final two subs waved on for today's match. And we will. So Bayron's day is done. Brooke Summers will replace her for Detroit City. And Gabrielle Shriver will enter. And Gabrielle is actually listed primarily as a goalkeeper. She had 4 matches as a keeper. But just because of bodies available, she is going to get some time in the field today.
Never want her to score. We got to make sure we do a good job keeping the ball away from her.
Now, I know how much you enjoy the notes that I add during the course of a broadcast. Here's my favorite one on an opposing player this year. You ready?
Okay.
Gabby is not a full-time soccer player. Gabby Shriver for Detroit City FC. She is a certified behavioral therapist who works with autistic children and plays soccer on the side.
Just for fun here after hours. That's a full-time job, right?
And as a parent of an autistic child who spends 40 hours a week with a certified behavioral therapist, I cannot tell you what it means to our family to have that service available to us. So literally, Gabby is doing the Lord's work and playing soccer on the side. How cool is that?
That is awesome, right? There she is. Isn't that her on the ball?
And then she was off the ball quickly and on the turf.
She's used to going in one direction instead of two.
Krasula and Ellie Poole get tied up. Taken away here by Detroit City. Opportunity here. At the edge of the 18, Shriver goes down, nothing in it.
No call.
And frankly, that's been a consistent no call most of the match.
Absolutely, and that's a ball earlier in the play. Robin McCarthy needs to get off of her foot so that it doesn't even turn into that.
Ball knocked forward. Nobody there, and Opal will track it down.
That's Emma playing to her good friend Reese, hoping Reese would run, but Reese was not thinking about running right there.
What do the next 4 days look like for the Indy 11? How much time on the pitch are you putting in knowing you play your biggest match of the season in 96 hours?
Yeah, I mean, I think tomorrow obviously is a day off. They will probably do a recovery session in the morning. Again, Sierra Garber as the elite trainer is working on with all of them on their recovery.
Johnson, right foot, up and over the bar.
So after they recover tomorrow, they'll probably do, they'll probably have Monday off as well, go through a run through on Tuesday, and then be ready to go on Wednesday.
This reminder, fans, you can take the Indy 11 with you wherever you go. Download the Indy 11 app in the App Store or get it on Google Play.
There you can hear Coach Dolinsky yelling, other way, quicker. And again, that's just, he wants them to stay sharp, move the ball, move it again, right? Don't get stuck in this spot where Detroit can pick up a ball and give up anything silly. Move it. Just keep moving it. Different angles will open, different people will open. Sometimes our center backs, lack patience. Now what can we do, right? We've shifted the Detroit team. That's a great ball in there. At least a good look, right?
They're kind of playing for pride at this point on both sides in terms of Indy wants to keep that 0 on the board for Detroit. Detroit's trying to get one more goal before the season comes to an end.
For sure, and they haven't quit at all, right? Credit to them that they came here to play, several factors against them with the travel, the lack of their best players being dressed or available. They've given great effort this whole time. They're still trying to see if they can't put together something that results in a goal.
Ricochets from Leonard to White to McCarthy, back to Phillips. Phillips about to be a 4-year starter in goal at Cathedral High School. Played in a pair of state championship games. At the 2A level, there's 3 classes of Indiana high school soccer.
Yeah, this is all right. Indy 11's in a low block here, trying to just stay behind the ball, see if they can't pick it off, and eventually they force the turnover.
So let's thank our great ISC Sports Network crew for their work on these games over the course of the last couple of months. Jordan Shue, Alan Hughes, Rob Lynch, Henry Tiegler, and thank you to Dennis Glover. Again, we hope to have more matches for you. We'll learn exactly whom and where the match on Wednesday will be on Monday. If the Indy 11 win, that next match would be on Sunday, July 17th, so a week from tomorrow. Again, if that's a home match for the Indy 11, that match will be played here. If Indy can win their next 2, championship match would be the following weekend. Could be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. The 22nd, 23rd, or 24th.
I mean, that's an exciting time, right? That's what you set out at the beginning of the year to do, is play deep into the end of July and stay out here and hoist the trophy.
The Indy 11 have a very unique opportunity. They will forever have played the first match in the history of the W League. They also have the chance to play the last match of this first season. Pretty
exciting times.
Pretty good bookend there. Knocked forward by Sahaki. Dean couldn't run onto it. Here's Rogers.
They're doing a great job of using the width here and being able to connect. Good runs of the front players coming back to receive those balls as well.
Bulatovic gets it from Krasula. Those two will be college teammates coming up this season. Ball knocked away. It will be a goal kick deflected off the boots of Bulatovic. So 10 minutes left to go in this one for the Indy 11. Clearly the outcome seems to be decided at this point. Just a matter of what the final margin will be.
And again, they're trying to build, trying to look to get behind, and good defending here by Indy 11. Makes it easy when Millie can come back and get that ball at her feet, and then the center backs have time on the ball. Can't really give it away right there though, because then now you got to run.
Smith.
Good work by Jules to recognize that and be able to come out of her center back spot, and good stuff by Nakia. 1-versus-1 defending, able to win it.
Dean knocks it forward. Bulatovic gives it a hit off the shoulder of Tremonti. There's no handball there, but it will be a corner kick coming here in the 81st minute.
No Katie Soderstrom. Nobody's running over there for the ball. Looks like Emma Johnson will take it.
Today's match presented by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women. I want to thank all those behind the scenes with the Indy 11. That have been a part of our broadcast this year. Thanks to Larry Lindy. Thanks to Rachel, John, everybody else involved. This one got through. Left foot poked right at the keeper by Abby Isker.
I don't know if Abby thought it was going to fall to her. All of a sudden it was right there. But you got to take that chance.
And Abby got to start in the opening match for the Indy 11. Unique circumstances of that match. It wasn't just the 1,500 plus that were in attendance up at Grand Park, but again, that match was played on what is basically finals week for most of these young ladies. So not everybody was available in that one. But frankly, in that match, the 11 showed the form that has made them a division champ and a contender for a W League championship. They set the pace on day number 1. And while they have not lost, there was very briefly a time where they were not in the top spot in the division just because they had played a couple of fewer matches than Racing Louisville. They're going to make it through this inaugural season unbeaten. And not just that, but have pulled 18 points from 6 home matches. Pulled the absolute maximum number of points. They've gotten the full 3 every time.
And they've scored a ton of goals too,
yep.
right? Throughout this whole, I don't know what the total number of goals in the year, but it's got to be up there league-wide.
All pulled down, or player pulled down, say foul. And then a card going to be shown to Shannon McCarthy. First card of the match. By the way, one stat that I know off the top of my head from a team perspective. You know how many yellow cards the Indy 11 have had this year?
0?
They're not perfect.
1.
1 yellow the entire season.
What was that one for?
It was Rachel McCarthy. I think it was the King's Hammer match, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But 1 in 12 matches. That's pretty impressive.
Well, it's also easier when you're winning. You're not pulling fouls like that kind of a thing late into the game.
As A.J. Foyt would say, this is quite true. Absolutely.
This is, you're looking at this to be a service back post for somebody else to run onto and head it.
Didn't get all the way through. As the ball pinballs around the 18, ball finds its way back to Emma Johnson. Johnson dispossessed by Shriver. Now an opportunity here for Detroit. This is Poole. Poole back to her left foot, doesn't get through. Ricochets off of Rogers. And then Leonard digs in to knock the ball away.
And that's a great recovery run by Ella Rogers, right? She's played every minute for a lot of games here, and she is still running end to end.
And nobody nearby.
So here's where you got 6 minutes left. Can we just keep them in front of us? Can Indy 11, kind of lock it down, get back into getting possession of the ball? Don't need another goal, but for sure need to just be able to keep it here, see the game out.
We got a
little cramp.
Yep, player down. And again, while it is cooler than it has been, it's still the middle of the afternoon in Indianapolis in July, and you're playing on turf. I think back to, and this is the old turf, but I think it still holds true. In the Indy 11's NASL days, they would have kind of a gap between the spring season and the fall season, made for a great opportunity to have an international friendly. Monarcas Morelia came in from Liga MX, and it was a day in June on a Sunday at about 79 degrees, about a perfect day. Still about 100 degrees on that turf.
Yeah.
It is a difference.
Looks like there's a little bit of wind down there, but it's definitely hotter down there than it is up here.
A gorgeous day for the fans, still warm for those young ladies. The two ladies you see on your screen there, both Ohio natives, but they'll be going at each other from a playing perspective this fall. Becky Dean for Butler, Ella Rogers for Xavier. I asked Ella, because Ella was our guest on Soccer Saturday today. I said, hey, what's it going to be like competing against some of your teammates in the fall? She goes, it's going to be fun. She goes, honestly, I guess because I didn't remember, Katie or Becky or Abby in particular playing against them this fall. She goes, I'll know them now.
Yeah. They didn't speak to each other for sure until at the end of the game, and that was those are some highly contested matches.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Is Xavier playing at Butler this year, or is Butler heading to Xavier? Do you have the schedule memorized yet?
It is Xavier at Butler. That's good for all of us who don't have to drive 2 more hours to see that one.
I'm going to have to make a 15-block road trip to what is now known as the Selleck Bowl to watch the match on that one.
It's good soccer. It's always end to end. They both have they're both got an attacking style. It'll be interesting to see. Each team each year has a bunch of turnover and see who the new faces will be and how they fit in.
Throw-in coming here for Indy. In minute number 88.
Abby Isger is in no hurry.
Our final 5 minutes plus stoppage time in today's match, presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealer. Proud automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Katie Soderstrom got the first half goal. We got a goal from the spot for goal number 3. Addie Chester got her second of the season. And right now this game looks almost like a mirror image of when these two teams played 8 days ago when Indy went up in Hamtramck 3-0. Again, the Indy 11 men will take on Detroit City coming up at 7. Go to My Indy TV here in the Indianapolis area. I think those of you watching perhaps from Detroit, I think that's on TV 20 up in that area. And then ESPN Plus, of course, is the online home for the USL Championship. But the pace has certainly slowed a little bit here, knowing that this one is all but wrapped.
Yep, you're listening to Coach Zielinski yelling, make the field big. So he wants as wide players as wide as possible. Detroit squeezed their back line up, so there's really no place to play to the feet of the front players. But if you can get it wide and kind of dump it over the top, this is, you know, he's still coaching right now in the 89th minute. This is something you may face Wednesday and further on into the playoffs, is how do you solve this problem right now? And it's a good little piece, like a couple minutes of a training session. But again, Indy's just content to keep possession right now.
I would think stoppage time would be a couple minutes, maybe 3. Obviously had a lot of subs, had 2 goals.
And one little bit of an injury right there, that last cramping situation.
Here's Phillips. And Phillips, the 3rd goalkeeper for the Indy 11 this year. And Nona Reason, who was at Noblesville High School for 1 year, moving from the San Diego area. She was the backup to start the year, but she also knew that her time would be brief because she is heading to play at the University of North Carolina.
And she's been down there for the last 2 weeks in their summer training program and getting ready to go. Heard she said it was pretty hard.
Well, it's North Carolina women's soccer.
As it should be, right?
I mean, just a handful of really good players that played at North Carolina over the years. Just a couple.
I mean, you talk about longevity. They've done a really good job for ever and ever.
In fact, I think there's determined no need for extra time today. At 3-0, call it. That's it, and that's that. The Indy 11 get to 10 wins on the season. Again, they have known for a week or so they were going to be the Great Lakes Division champs. They are moving on to the W League playoffs in year number 1. They win today by a score of 3-0. Margaret, your final thoughts on this one?
That's a great springboard heading into next week. Let's see what they can do to continue this momentum, stay sharp. They're healthy. Everybody's ready to go. We'll find out their fate on Monday. See what happens next week.
Obviously, the Indy 11 social media channels will have everything you need to know about how that will play out. Indy11.com, click on the W League tab. USLWleague.com will also have that announcement for you as well. Again, Indy will have the Wednesday match. If they can win that one, then they would play on Sunday, July 17th, and hopefully we'll have one, if not both, of those matches for you here on ISC, Comcast 81, and 11 Sports. For Margaret McLaughlin, this is Greg Rakestraw. Goodbye for now from the campus of IUPUI. Indy 11 women win at 3-0. Thanks for watching W League Soccer.
Honda is the most fuel-efficient automaker in America. That means you have more miles per gallon with Honda. Save at the pump with up to 40 mpgs for Honda cars and SUVs. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Place your soccer bets at Bet Rivers Sportsbook, your new home for soccer betting. The most soccer betting options on the sport you love. We offer live in-game betting on major soccer matches worldwide. We have tons of bets available during game, from money lines, goal spreads, player goals, half bets, and many more. Bet Rivers is proud to be the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11, Indiana's team. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your bets at betrivers.com.
So many people were out of work from COVID, not being able to pay their utility bills, not being able to pay their rent, and that's why our job is so important.
And what we've committed to is working with our partners around food pantries, around making sure that people get connected to what they need.
Our job is more than just giving people resources, it's be that hand to help them when they're feeling down.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/simply delivered. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
In 7 years, you can meet, get married, have kids, get a dog, and still be covered in your Honda certified vehicle. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, plus factory trained technicians and Honda genuine parts. Search your local Honda dealer today.